Alright, time to make another video about Doctor Who with Colin Baker in The Mysterious Planet, which is the first story in the season of The Trial of a Time Lord. So I was discussing what happens in The Mysterious Planet. Okay, so we left off with the Doctor and Perry. Okay, the Doctor wants to look for survivors down there. Because previously I'd said that the Doctor wants to explore and investigate. He finds a hermetically sealed door which he opens. It leads down to a lower level. Okay, that's what I said at the last video. All right, so continuing on. The Doctor wants to look for survivors down there. But Perry decides to wait outside the entrance. The Doctor tells Perry, "Don't go wandering off. Be careful." He enters the passageway. This is kind of funny. So right away this happens. Right after the Doctor says, "Be careful." Okay. And he starts going down the passageway. Perry turns and trips over some rubble, saying, "Oh!" The Doctor rushes back and says, "I said be careful." So that was kind of funny. Silly Perry. Perry asks, "Of what? The spooks and ghosts you're always telling me don't exist?" "Hey, you could have left me the umbrella." "Oh, please yourself. I don't mind getting wet." Yeah, the Doctor had an umbrella with him. I think it was actually raining on location when they were outside by the trees, the mist. I suppose I should mention that Perry's character is meant to be American. It being when you're from America, when you're from the United States, you could probably tell that she doesn't quite sound American. You can tell that it's an English person putting on an American accent. But it's okay. It's an alright accent, but I can tell there's moments where you can tell that it's not her original. It's not her birth accent. You can tell. I feel like you can tell the way that Nicola Bryant pronounces some words. You can tell that she's actually English. At least that's how I feel. So it's kind of a combination, I think. There's moments where Perry sounds American, but also moments where you can tell that she's actually really English. Maybe it's a little subtle. But she definitely talks different than the Doctor. Who is meant to be from another planet, but he sounds English. At least Colin Baker's Doctor does. Later, he will sound Scottish. Okay, anyway, back to the mysterious planet. All right, Perry heads toward the exit and is apprehended, which is kind of funny that how fast this happens. Right away, Perry is apprehended by two men wearing masks and pole arms. I wanted to give the definition for this. I think when I looked it up in the dictionary before, I couldn't find pole arms. So I was remembering. So these two people that apprehend Perry, they look like they're medieval. They're kind of yeah. They kind of look like, I suppose not really like knights, but they look like guards, medieval guards. So they have armor on, a little bit of armor, maybe chainmail. Yeah, not exactly like knights though, but they have this medieval style that a guard would wear from medieval times, and they have these long staff-like weapons. And immediately I was remembering the time I spent in my youth. Probably the earliest was junior high time for me. So the 90s and a little bit in high school. Yep, of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons second edition. So dealing with dragons and wizards and rogues and magical creatures and all of that fun stuff. So I was remembering the familiarity I had with some of the weapons, which I thought they were called pole arms, but when I looked it up in the dictionary, I couldn't find it in my dictionary. But there are different types of this type of weapon. It makes sense that they're called pole arms because an arm, besides the definition of the physical part of the human body, an arm, like arms, is also a word for weapons. So it's a weapon that's in the shape. It has a pole as part of it as a feature. So that's why it makes sense that it's called a pole arm. So there's different types of pole arms. And the only one that I could think of, the one that came to mind was a halberd. Halberd. Halberd? So I just wanted to give the definition so it could be explain more the description of what these characters were holding as they apprehended Perry. There's even a photo of it in my. What is it? I guess it's like a drawing. It's a depiction of what a halberd is. Lost my pen again. Well, maybe I'll read the description and then I'll show the drawing of it. Okay, so a halberd. Historical. It's a combined spear and battle axe. Origin, late 15th century, from French halabarda, from Italian alabarda, from Middle High German helmbard, from helm, handle plus barda, hatchet, Okay, halberd. And then, okay, so here's the drawing for it. This will be tricky. Okay. So this is the top. So just imagine a pole, and then this is at the top of the pole. So that's what these two medieval type guards, they're holding something that is similar to this. Okay. So Perry is apprehended by these two guys. Okay, so then we go back to the doctor, who had already gone off down this tunnel, this corridor that was leading down to lower levels. All right, the doctor walks down a corridor and enters a room where there are large containers of water. I think it was like a kind of like globe shaped and then a cylindrical part coming out of this. It looked like it was clear, so it might have been glass or plastic. Okay, so there are several of these containers of water. The doctor picks up one to inspect it, and right away an electronic voice yells, "Water thief!" And then 3 doors open, and several armed men emerge. They apprehend the doctor. We see, and then somewhere else, we see a guard who we find out later their name is Merdine, and he is communicating on a monitor with a large robot that he calls the Immortal. The robot is giving orders to Merdine. Okay. And then, meanwhile, somewhere else, Glitz and Dibber, the rogues, they meet with a village community. The village leader tells Glitz and Dibber about their great totem to the earth god, Haldron. It's a tall, slender metal structure coming up from the ground. Glitz tells her that it is a malfunctioning navigational beacon that had attracted a fireball 500 years ago to the planet. If you don't have it dismantled, the fireball will return. The leader wants to know his name. He says his name is Sabalom Glitz. Sabalom Glitz. That's a weird name. Sabalom Glitz. The village leader doesn't believe Glitz. Glitz and Dibber pull out their guns. The village people. Oh, this is funny. I'm going to do this a few times in here. I'm referring to them as the village people. And it reminds me of the band, the Village People. But I'm not talking about the Village People, the band, who sang YMCA. Not those village people, but literally people that would live in a medieval type village, like in the past. Those types of village people. Okay, so the village people. Village people. The village people quickly take away Glitz and Dibber's guns and apprehend them. I've used that word a few times in here. Everybody's getting apprehended. All right. So it's going on to another. My notes are going on to a different scene. So I guess now is a good time to stop. So the video is long enough. So a lot of notes. It's Friday. Gonna take a break. Take a break from making Doctor Who videos until Monday. Okay.